Alright, so we are on hour 1 of the Sailor Moon quilt. Got the image that I'm going to be using as my reference up on the computer, the big screen, and I got the plans for it on the little laptop. I've got all the beautiful colors spread out, and I am so thrilled with this just color palette. Regular black, I've got a patterned gray that's kind of shimmery, I love it, so it's going to be these parts of the quilt. And then for the background color we're going blue, but then to frame it we're going to have this colored blue in the background around here. And then for the stars we have this geometric yellow pattern, so like this star, the little shimmery ones on the outside are going to be patterned, but her hair is going to be plain, and I'm going to have the shimmer here too. And then so these are the 3 palettes for her hair, and then her skin, and then her dress. So it's just going to be a fabulous quilt. We're going to be using this dark blue fleece for the back, and I'm going to do hourly videos for this one just to break it up. Alright, so we are beginning hour 2. I am just finishing up cutting some single squares. I've got a pile of strips. You cut the strips and then you sew them together, and then you cut them in the opposite direction so that you get long lines of pre-cut and sewn together squares for just big blocks so that you don't waste your time sewing one at a time. I'm starting to lay out all of the colors here. So once I sew the strips together and cut them in the opposite direction, they will be spread out all right here, and that way I can carefully put the whole quilt together piece by piece. So we are entering hour 3, and I have this giant pile of just a bunch of fabric that have been sewn together. These are the strips I was telling you about earlier. So I just sit here and go like this. This is almost the last of the strips, and then like I said before, once these are all sewn together, we put them back on the cutting board. This is a self-healing pad, and use the rotary cutter to slice them up so that they look like little pixelated squares. Hour 4 checkmark, go! So I have all the fabric laid out, and they're pre-cut. So like this is a square of 10, or it's like a pile of 10s and 4s and 1s and 2s and 3s and 5s. I try to keep them in order, so like I don't have any 3s, so we skip straight to 4. But pretty much this helps when I'm looking at the design. Say the first line of Sailor Moon has 10 or 40 squares. I can just go 1, 2, 3, 4. I got a handful of 40, and I just slap it right there, go to the next row. So it kind of helps me streamline the whole organizing all the pixels for the quilt. We are entering the 5th hour with Megan from 8-Bit Healy and DJ Pandora. So I am on row 16. I'm laying out the lines. I have 2 sheets done as of right now, so I'll go up to here and say, background 2. And the background is this malted blue. So you put 2 down right there. Then you go back up there and say, oh, black 1. So you put 1 black. Then you go back up, and you're like, oh, blue 11. So this is a pile of 10s. Go ahead and put 10 there, and then 1 more makes 11. And so that's the process that I'm doing right now. I slowly and meticulously just lay out everything, and I'll sew it together later. So hour 6, I'm still laying out squares. I start getting really excited about this point because I just want to sew them all together, and I want to see the quilt and see what it looks like. I have a little reference picture up right here, and I'm just starting to get excited. Let's see. I have 3 sheets pre-laid out about halfway through, so I'm guessing it'll take me about another hour or 2 hours to keep laying out the squares. This part's very tedious, and if I'm tired, it's not a good idea to keep working on it late into the night. So I'm actually on day 3 of working on this quilt because last night it got late and I didn't want to mess up. You gotta keep your numbers right. Right. Hour 7, I am starting to sew the quilt together. I have most of it hidden underneath here, and each sheet usually takes me about an hour. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have at least 5 more hours ahead of me. Actually, it's probably gonna be more like, I'd say 9, because I haven't finished laying out all the squares yet. I ran out of this colored fabric, so I gotta run back to the store today and get more. But yeah, I just sit here, enjoy some America's Next Top Model, and sew all these damn things together. Heyo, hour 8. Oh, I'm still going at it with this stuff. It's going well. I can't be negative about it. I haven't finished the first sheet yet. I've got looks like 6 lines here, so I'll hopefully get some pictures of it at the next hour to show you how it's coming along. Hour 9. Let me show you what I have accomplished. So this is the very tippy top. Got a little bit of a moon going. I hope the 3 different shades show up well with the final product. Alright, it's currently hour 10. I'm loving the way this is coming out. You know, the client is the one that chose for the pattern to be, the fabric to be patterned, and it's kind of supposed to look like a border. I think it looks really cool. If you look closely, you'll see that the twinkle stars have patterned fabric, but the hair is plain. So she's coming together. It's pretty late. Right now it is, can I get it to focus? Almost 3 a.m. so I'm pretty burnt out. I'm gonna keep sewing a little bit longer. I'm trying to sew quietly because my mom's actually home tonight, so I'm trying not to be too loud. Watching the finale of America's Next Top Model. Woo! Hour 11 checkpoint. My machine sounds like it's possessed by a garbage disposal, so I'm just gonna clean it out. Always clean and oil your machine because it makes it quieter and it runs smoother. As we enter hour 12, I am just kind of taking a look at how it's coming. I'd say we're about a third through. Standing on a chair, this is how I get my product pictures. Sometimes I'll throw it on the bed next door in the room next to me, but I don't have a very good space to take pictures right now. All them squares, I need to put together the last couple lines. I ran out of the silver and the malted blue, so I still need to do a couple things with that. I'm watching my boyfriend on Twitch play some Lords of Shadow DLC. I'm gonna get back to it. I really want to finish this quilt by today. I believe I'm on day 4 of its progress, but yeah, it should be in the mail by tonight so I can start the next project. Hour 13. I have this many left to do of the squares before I need to lay out some more. So in the grand scheme of things, this point right here where there's gray, black, gray is her bow right here. So once I finish those, I've got to lay out all the squares for that third of the quilt. And then I just got to sew them all together. Simple. Hour 14. So every quilt has its hiccups, and this one I happen to have a beige where a dark brown should have been, so this guy's actually wrong. It should have been this color. So I just rope the seams, pull out the square, and I will replace it with the correct color. And it happens every quilt. Hopefully less mistakes, better, but I'm gonna fix this and keep on going. Hour 15, I'm back to laying out the very last of the quilt. If you look carefully, you can see that those are her pigtails, and then this is the bottom border. So that's the very tip of the moon. And if you look at my Facebook page, I've been having a good time today just chatting with people. I really do appreciate the support I get from everybody on Facebook, just dealing with me as I do my craft progress. look me up on Facebook at 8-Bit Healy if you are interested in joining the conversation. So I posted this picture that had last hour's progress, and I noticed this pixel we talked about earlier is out of place, and so I was just playing games with people, asking them to find it, and then posting the results. So I try to make it fun. Otherwise I think I might go crazy being bored myself. But I'm almost done laying out the rest of this pattern, and then I'll sew it together, and then we will get it to the post office. I feel I've been saying for 4 days that we will mail it today, but hasn't happened. But it's hard to predict, how long things take. So it's hour 16. I am almost done. I think so. I wanted to make a confession. So I am on Pokemon episode 236. I watched it while I sew, and I did the math, and if I've watched 236 episodes, that technically means I've watched over 3 days worth of Pokemon. So that's a little embarrassing, but it keeps me going, gives me something to, do while I sew. Hour 17.